Hey there guys, Jimmy from Classic Gaming here bringing you a new TF2 video. Now a lot of you tend to ask me, Jimmy, how did you get started in trading? How did you get to where you are? Blah 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 blah. Basically this video is going to explain that. Now I'm going to do a question and answers video later on down the road. I feel like I'm not quite big enough to do it yet, but it'll come, don't worry. Once I have more subs and viewers and all that cool shit, I'll do a Q&A video, I promise. Just not right now because I feel like I won't get that many good questions to answer. Anyways, how I got started into trading, here we go. So way back when trading first came out, and I mean like when it first came out, before TF2 Trader and PPM trade servers and all the other shit was here, we had UHC, Unusual Hat Club. And that was the only unusual server that had any like weight in the community. And way back then, I was just trading, refined and hats. I didn't put any money in the game, don't worry. That's not how I got my start. I was just trading, I started off with like a couple hats that I had from drops, and I just kind of like worked my way up a little bit, trading for, refined profit here and there. And one day, I was looking to buy some keys, and I saw this guy in a trade server, and he was selling 2 keys for 1 refined. Now, back then, the normal like trade value was 1 key equals 1 refined. That's how long ago this was, just to like give you some insight. Anyways, I knew that was a great deal. I was making 100% profit immediately, so I went and sold them all my refined for all of the possible keys I could get. And then I was like, well, I got some spare crates. I might as well unbox. Why the fuck not, So, with those keys and crates, I decided to unbox, and the very first crate I unboxed, I got a Burning Flames Handyman's Handle. Now, if you don't know what that is, it's the plunger for the pyro, and keep in mind, this was back when Sunbeams was the highest tier effect, so just, like, believe it or not, that happened, okay? The Sunbeams was the highest tier effect, next to Burning and Scorching, and, yeah, but I got a new pyro hat. I think it was like 5 buds at the time back then, so it's not too different from now, but still. Anyways, the moment I got it, I was flooded with plenty of crappy offers. Not technically crappy, like I got offered like 8 good vintage hats. When back then, that was actually a pretty fair offer. It wasn't a good offer, but it wasn't like terrible. But anyways, I ended up trading it 1-to-1 for a Scorching Gentleman's Beret, or Frenchman's Beret, there we go, for the Spy, because I played Spy more back then. Spy was like my main class way back then. So I traded for it immediately, kind of fucked myself over a little bit, but not much, because back then trading was entirely preference based. You traded for what you wanted, and there wasn't really any like hardcore value to anything then, So it was kind of like, traded for whatever the fuck you want and just enjoyed it. But anyways, I just kind of traded my way through, and with each and every unusual trade I did, I'd ask for sweets, and they'd add in a couple hats, maybe a couple vintages, maybe a Bills hat or a Buds, an earbuds if I was lucky. And I ended up cashing out my unusual, and I think like 2 pairs of Buds. I had like a Vivid Baker and 2 Buds at the time for about like $150 or something like that. But I still had all my vintages and whatnot left over. So fast forward like a month or two, and I ended up buying a green confetti Dixie for about 8 vintage hats maybe. It was like a couple hats, And again, back then that was fair. That was perfectly fine and normal. So I traded up from the confetti Dixie up to about a Scorching Flames bombing run and a Hearts rack, and that was when I got scammed. Now, after that happened, I kind of quit trading for about a month or 2. But I still had a bunch of vintages and regular hats, and I think even a Bills hat after that, scam happened. So I still had some stuff. So once that month of me being, entirely done with trading passed, I was like, well, I kind of miss it. Let me get back into it. So I bought another confetti Dixie. Mind you, this was all before any new effects. There was no Halloween effects yet. There was no 2nd gen effects like smoking and stormy and all that shit. Nothing new had happened yet, okay? So once that happened, I got another confetti Dixie for another group of hats, and I just traded my way back up. I think I got to a Burning Noble. Oh, no, I got to a Burning Tower, and that's when I quit. I had like a burning tower and enough to get like I think a vivid tower and maybe like a little bit of stuff to like hold on to. But I kind of like quit trading again. I didn't sell anything for cash. I just kind of quit. And so once that happened, I sold the tower for a lot more than I thought I would. And then I got up to a Burning Flames, I think it was a Burning Flames Pyromancer's Mask, a Burning Flames Stash, a Burning Flames Noble, and a Burning Flames Batter's Helm. And that was like my second time quitting trading pretty much. So, I had 3 unusual hats for my main classes with burning, and then an all class with burning. So I could, have burning on every single one of my classes. Well, again, I ended up selling, I think, the batters and the noble first, and I got back into trading again. So basically, I started off with nothing. I have not contributed anything, monetarily speaking, to the game. Spare like maybe $100 in random keys for like unbox videos and shit like that. But you watch my unbox videos, they're not very profitable. I have unboxed about 6 or 7 unusuals in my career, but between the Disco Brainiac that I recently unboxed and the Burning Handle that was my first unbox, pretty much all the unboxes I've ever done were Planet unusuals. I'm not kidding. They were not good. They were like maybe a Planet's 10-gallon, a Planet's hat with no name, a Planet's virtual reality helmet, just not bad hats, especially at the time because Planets was a little bit higher at that time, but they still weren't. I unboxed like a Burning KE or something amazing like that, So between my most recent unbox, which was that Disco Brainiac from a while back, and my Burning Handle, I haven't really gotten anything substantial value-wise. So I really haven't put forth much cash into this game, and that also says a lot because I took out, I'd say probably $6,000 from this game in cash, because I cashed out once, where I sold pretty much everything in my backpack except for like 3 hats. And back then I had a 9-hat Burning collection, a 9-hat Sunbeams collection, and a little bit of like leftover unusuals just to hang on to. And I sold all of it except for my Burning Stash and my Sunbeam Samurai and a gifted Planets Bombers, Brown Bomber. There we go. Could not think of it. But, that was it. And I worked my way back up again to basically what I have now, So you can do it. Trading is still a thing, and it's still very possible to work your way up in this market. It's harder now, I will admit that. Trading is a lot slower now. It's a lot more profit-based, and there's a lot more, I'm not going to say shitty, but yeah, shitty people in this market looking to fuck you over. And it is definitely harder now, but it's still possible. I build up profit every day, not every day, but a lot now. Not as much as I used to, that's for sure, but I still get profit. Profit trading is still a thing, and it's still very possible. You can work your way up to whatever goal you want. So do it. Buy a small unusual and work your way up. It takes a long time, but you'll get there. And the more you have, the more profit you'll make. So, join me in trade. Just do it. Don't hold back. You can do it. Trust me. Anyways, until next time, guys. Hope you liked the video. Like I said, a Q&A video will happen eventually. I'm sure you guys have plenty of questions for me, but I try to answer as many of them in the comment section anyway, so there's that. But until next time, guys, peace out.